To it. Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you are listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned. Elegbete TV Radio. We dare to lead. Elegbete TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio.
Let's make some money. All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on the Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Indafe Matthias. You're gonna love to come in the Elegbete One Sports, and it's gonna be very, very fast-paced running on the mill today. It's 1 hour of the show, but it does look like 1 hour will not be enough today. This is one of those days when you say 24 hours could not even handle a day, so you need 52, 72 hours to make a day. Like I used to say back in the day when I was working in terrestrial radio, I used to say that I love the fact that I work 8 days in a 7 days week, and that's exactly what we're going to have today. And I'm going to line it up clearly for you guys. So yesterday I made out this tweet and I asked guys, if I, ask you people to come, let's invest just minimum 100,000 naira in Nigerian football. Would you be willing to? A lot of people came up with different answers. Some people thought my account was actually hacked and it wasn't me. I see people, sending me messages on WhatsApp, sending me message on my DM. Okay, that's what happened is your Facebook account and your Twitter account hacked again, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, it's me. Okay. And it's easy. Let me say this thing. It's easy if I call guys, my friends and people that I now say, guys, let's meet at the lounge. Let's go and drink. It's an easy thing to do. But, people are not used to investment. So when you call investment, like, they want to do 419 now. Again, is that we always talk about how we want the Nigerian league to be as powerful as the EPL. Yesterday, I interviewed Darren Lewis, and part of the questions that I was asking him was, how can we, grow our football and make it look as big as the Premier League? Come on, our population is bigger than the English population, like by a million miles, right? And he was saying it's investment. The next week you're going to have that interview. My producer is now around to edit and put it out, so you're going to have it next week, and you will see. So it's a very short one because we had only 10-15 minutes to talk because he also had an engagement with CNN and Sky Sports and the rest of them. But we had a good one, and there's promise for more conversation going forward. So the most important thing is we're building the network and our friendship. Now, why I'm saying that is, too many times we talk about all the problems that are in Nigerian football, and we don't realize that if Nigerian football is going to be fixed, if it's going to be good, it is you and I that will fix it. There's nobody, I keep saying it, there's nobody that's going to come from the abroad to come and fix it. US, they are struggling to know the difference between male and female right now. They don't even know gender anymore. US, 200 and something years old country, don't know the difference between male and female. They change it to alphabet and binary. So those people, Europe, they're in misery, okay, just because of one small war. And there, we're in Africa, we have war everywhere, we're still holding our own. So my point is, if we're going to fix Nigeria on all fronts, we are going to fix it. In the words of a great man, John C. Maxwell, he said, you cannot lead except in your sphere of influence. So if you are in sport, make sure that you lead and pursue excellence there. If you are in medicine, make sure that you lead and pursue excellence there. If you are in broadcasting, make sure you lead and pursue excellence. And gradually, we'll just notice that mediocrity will just ease itself out of your entire national system. That's what leadership is all about. And there's a whole lot for us to talk about. There's the transfer rumors. We're going to touch base on that one. There's the Maguire. And the question is Maguire truly the most unlucky footballer in the whole world since football started probably in the 1930s and the rest? Is Maguire the most unlucky player in world football? Because sometimes you just kind of like, you go from trying to banter him and having pity on him. But every question you have regarding the investment in Nigerian football, I think this is the best day to raise those questions, because the experts, the guys who are at the helm of affairs, who are managing the funds, have all the answers in the YouTube comment section. So it would be nice for you to raise to YouTube. But if on Instagram you raise the question, I would say ask the question of them, and they would respond to you, and it will be fine. One day, I would most likely try to bring them to the studio for the show, but we're in Nigeria, and the mainland is very far, or island is very far. Sometimes 9 o'clock is not the best time, but we would find a way to have a sit down. I think that it's a show that we will do that will require question and answer. I don't want to do a private interview. A question and answer section where you guys will be involved will be nice, because investment, you want to know where your money is going to, if the people are trustworthy, if the people are regulated, if they are that. But then some of the people will say, oh, they can't trust anybody to put their money. And I'm saying to them, you put your money on OPay, PayPal, and the rest of them, and Kuda. The last time I checked, most of these guys didn't have any offices, but you trust them. You also put your money in all the bet companies, and some of them you just put it online, your phone number and everything. You don't have that. They don't have offices, but you trust them. The thing is, don't create distrust. Don't create enmity. Don't create, alienate yourself from the possibilities of good. I know that this country, it is hard to trust anybody. It is hard. And sometimes it's so hard that we can't even trust ourselves. But you see, the thing is, when the train of opportunity comes, look at it very well, scrutinize it, and you can put your foot on it and say, I'm going with this one. That's what Nigerian football is right now. That's where we are at right now. And it will be nice for the early comers. It's cheap right now to buy into it, but I know that down the road, it will not be cheap. I remember that somebody bought Chelsea for £1. Yeah, Ken Bates bought Chelsea for £1. And Roman Abramovich bought it for close to £1 billion, and Todd Boehly bought for 4.7. Now Manchester United is that the Glazers bought for 800 million. It's now up for 6 billion. So just think about it like that. This is how the football business grew. You know, the funny thing with football business, they never depreciate. The asset never depreciate. So an investor today is always going to be rich and rich and rich and rich and rich and rich as it goes forward, because, like they say, the house always wins, and you want to be in the house and not be on the outside. Well, let's take you through the transfer speculations. Everybody wants to know where their club is looking at, where this player or that player is looking to go. And I throw a question to you guys as well while we're talking about investment in the Nigerian Football League. It's called the TNFF. The Nigerian Football Fund. Okay, the TNFF is the Nigerian Football Fund. That's where you can invest. And people say, okay, am I just going to put my money and just go and sit home, and then these charlatans will just run the league and then run away with my money? No, that's not what it is. If you put your money there, it's like put your money in the bank. So there is an investment fund that is SEC regulated. For people who don't know what SEC is Security and Exchange Commission, if I'm not making any mistake that now. It's SEC regulated, the same people who regulate your banks, okay? And so the money is invested in the league. Sponsors come in because of that investment. Take, for instance, this season, you see how good the referee, the officiating have become. And I mean, not the best of media yet, but the media will be better next season. That's a guarantee that I can give to you, because I'm part of the inside. And going forward, it will go better and better and better. They say the best time to invest is when the stocks are down. This is the best time to invest, because at some point it will go so high you might not even be able to reach it anymore. It's like trying to go and invest in SpaceX right now. You can't. You can't afford it. Okay, a single share in SpaceX you can't have, or Tesla, you can't afford it. It's even locked that not everybody can even come in anymore, unless the people who have will have to apply to sell their stocks. And the right of first refusal is with the people who already have shares in Tesla. So it's not an all-comers affair again. It's like Ferrari. Okay, but let's look at the transfer window and see what the rumors are speculating. And also, for the very first time, I've also decided to do a Facebook Live. So there's a live stream on Facebook as well. I already see Daniel Abanom on Facebook. I say good morning, sir. Uzo, I say good morning, boss. Yes, I think so. He didn't play badly, just unfortunate to score that own goal. Okay, he's talking about Harry Maguire. But let's talk about the transfer speculations that is there. I'm going to come back to us talking about the investment opportunity that is there on the Nigerian Professional Football League, Nigerian Premier Football League, and we'll look at it, or you better still call it the NPFL. Yeah, Bayern League are interested in signing England striker Harry Kane, who's 29 years of age, from the Tottenham Hotspur this summer, but Manchester United are favourite because the player wants to stay in the Premier League and he's not tired yet. But the German champions Bayern ready to test Tottenham's resolve with a persuasive offer for England captain. So it's going to be a bidding war. It's going to be all about the Benjamins more than the interest of the player. Well, we will see how it goes for them. Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United are interested in signing Brighton's 24-year-old Argentine midfielder Alexis McAllister. All of those players that went to the World Cup are so hot right now. Europa will say, okay, who would welcome a summer transfer and leave Brighton? Okay, Real Madrid is ready to make a new bid for England defender Reece James. Oh, Chelsea, you're in trouble. 23 years of age, the only person who can cross the ball at Chelsea is being moved away. Well, if Chelsea are forced to sell players this summer, then definitely they will be forced to sell players. Okay, former Bayern Munich boss Julian Nagelsmann 5 has been invited to meet Chelsea's board as the club continues to search for a new permanent manager. Spain boss Luis Enrique 52 has already held talks with the board already and done a very well detailed PowerPoint presentation, the type that Arteta presented to the Arsenal board and convinced them that he is the man for the job. Okay, Barcelona expect Chelsea to make another attempt to sign Brazil winger Rafinha 26 this summer, according to Sports in the Spanish media. Leeds United 23-year-old French goalkeeper Elian Messilia that I talked to you about a couple of days ago, who is a target for Chelsea, wants to quit the West Yorkshire club in the summer, even if they avoid relegation. I'm not ready to be battling relegation anymore. I want to be in a team where we're playing in the Champions League and also winning it. That's what he's interested in right now. Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr side are targeting Zinedine Zidane or Jose Mourinho as the next manager after sacking Rudy Garcia because of Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo has happened to Rudy Garcia. He was the guy who was knocking his mouth, who was talking all front, back, and center, talking about how he loved Cristiano Ronaldo. I remember tweeting that you don't know anything. Cristiano Ronaldo will soon make you lose your job. And that's exactly what has happened. Sorry, I'm not the guy who exed him or who jinxed him, but it's just the reality of having Cristiano right now. Cristiano Ronaldo is just become both a great player and a nuisance to anybody he plays for. And Kylian Mbappe seems to be copying that anyway, but it's too early. As they will say in Alibaba and the 40 team, the first original one, small boy, you're in trouble. France forward Kylian Mbappe is the next one that I'm going to talk about. But before that, let's talk about Liverpool and Manchester City are among several clubs monitoring needs of France midfielder Kefran Turan, who is 22 years of age. What about France forward Kylian Mbappe, 24, says his next career goal is to win the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain. You know that's a very big lie. That boy is telling lie. Oh, after, offending the Paris fans with questioning their advertising, using him as advertising for their next season's ticket, is trying to win the but he's lying. Let the summer come. Let the next transfer window come in. You will see Mbappe angling to move away. The boy is unstable. I wouldn't even want to sign him for my team right now anyway, but you can't doubt his speed and his talent. That's just the thing. But then there is so much talent can take you. At some point, people begin to look at you like, come on. Go and ask Balotelli, go and ask Cassano, go and ask a whole lot of all those guys who have talent but they know how to manage it. Well, let's keep it going. Spin forward, Ansu Fati 20 wants to stay at Barcelona despite interest from Bayern Munich, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester City and Chelsea both sent scouts to watch Monaco's France defender Axel Disasi 25 last weekend. I told you guys about that one already on Monday. Chelsea are confident of reaching an agreement with England midfielder Mason Mount 24 over a new contract, and Fulham are considering a move for Porto's Colombian midfielder Matheus Uribe 32 as a replacement for Portugal international João Paulinho, who's 27, 32 years of age. What are you doing? Okay, who is the target for Manchester United? And they have accepted that he just might leave at the end of the season. Crystal Palace and Ivory Coast forward with Zaha 30 will turn that offer from Saudi Arabia clubs as he wants to remain in Europe. Please go. Nobody go sign for this Europe. Nottingham Forest will launch a bid for Flamengo and Brazil striker Pedro 25 if they avoid relegation from the Premier League. That club is an NPFL club. Okay. Colombian midfielder James Rodriguez or James Rodriguez. Remember the guy that I broke the story in 2014? I was the first guy to tell you guys in 2014 that he was going to Real Madrid from Monaco. Remember, he's not a free agent. He's gone everywhere to play for Real Madrid, play for Monaco. He also went on loan to Bayern Munich and came to Everton. Now he's a free agent. Okay, so Eyimba, Bendel Insurance, Remo Stars, you guys can go sign him because he's a free agent and it will be good for you. Even if he doesn't play too much football, it will be good for your social media boss. Just sign him. Just I'll put a bid for him. If I was this club, I'll put a bid. It doesn't really matter. I'll put an official bid for him. Like, I want to sign him, speak to his agent, and use it as a marketing or a social media stunt. Something that I can do. Okay. It's how crazy I am. You guys know me. I'm that crazy. I will beat for him. English midfielder Adam Forshaw 31 will leave Leeds United this summer. So let's leave transfer gist. That's the end of transfer story. And the English media is really biting on Harry Harry Maguire. But let's see what the comment section is saying for as far as YouTube is concerned and Facebook. Like I said, if you've got questions, this is the best time to ask those questions, right? If you're interested in investment, this is the best time to ask those questions. Don't just sit where you are and pretend like this investment opportunity didn't come. And then the time is going to come when it will pass you, you'll not be able to go in again. Don't say, I didn't tell you. Or didn't remember, say, Maguire, we just the manage try arrange himself back to normal, small, then press and do own goal. I defeat for the guy. Let me say the goal is not his fault. After all, already before the goal, Sevilla was all over Man United. Okay, and then Oduni Remeleka say Jude see a Madrid move with the look of this, but it will have to sit on the bench for most of the games next season till Cross or Modric step down the season after. Okay. Gospel Bukomana say, I would be willing if I had the money because I trust your judgment on this. Believe me, I'm not going to lead people into a place where if the backslash comes, it probably might just destroy my business. And you know that this business is very fragile right now. I don't even have the numbers to gamble away. And if I lose the few people that I have, I practically will pack up shop and know that I've failed in this business. But then the people that I'm talking about are people that are reliable. So Sister Nailima say, how do I invest? I read about the TNFF, not much information in public space. Okay, so this is where I will need Mr. Onamdi and probably Mr. Nelson to type in a response to this question. Sister Nailima is saying, how do I invest? I read about the TNFF, not much info in public space. So probably this is where I need you. If you're watching right now, this is where I need you to give answer to 69 Lima. So your response should be at 69 Lima, this blah, 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 blah. I'll read it out. He would see it if he doesn't read yours. But Namdi, I'm banking on you seriously on this one. This is not the time to fail me anyway. This is not the time for your network to also go down. I'm very, very sure and certain my network is good. And then those of you out there, whatever question you have, this is the best time. I'm not going to commit this much time to this going forward, okay? This is a business, so I run this business to make money. But for now, just to answer and allay the fears of a lot of people, because I realized a lot of people were scared. Like everybody was sending me message, calling me, that is that you? Is it you? Somebody hack your Twitter, somebody hack your Facebook. I said, no, it's me. Okay. So I just thought I should do that today. Mr. Sugar One said, I like to invest. So Namdi, I'm waiting for your response to explain the procedure, how the investment work. And one of the big questions that I continuously get people asking me is, okay, so if I put my money, how am I, how do I get my money back? How do I get my return on investment? And how long is this? We're so used to MMM that everything about us is 30, 60, 90 days cycle, right? But this is not that type of investment anyway. But Baba J19 say, how much do you think one can invest? Namdi, the questions are really coming out. But why these questions are coming, I'm waiting for Namdi and Mr. Nelson to respond. Let me also read the sporting conversation that is going on here. But I think that it will not be bad if we commit the whole of today's show to this investment conversation. And if you're also on Facebook, let me not abandon them, because I think there are people on Facebook also who are throwing up some questions. Oluwasegun makes a great job. Reynard Kinsiku, 100%. This is not the day for hailing. This is an investment conversation. Let's focus on the investment possibility. Raise your questions. Raise your questions like your FPO or your job order, and I would be here to put it. Baba J619 said, how much do you think one can invest? Okay, let's go to. I'll bring answers to all of these guys. Just bear with me. Okay, let me says. Okay, Pastor. God's will about Bukomena say, I would be willing to invest if I have the money. Okay, Pastor. Let me say maybe Man City will sign Jude Bellingham because that transfer is expensive. But don't you remember, say if Pep eventually allowed Bernardo Silva to leave, then they might go for Jude heavily in the summer. Okay, I hope so. Charles Aladi say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Let me say Jude is key replacement. Is Ike Gondoga replacement, not Bernardo. Okay, let me say, man, you go see their period now as the injury list done plenty. Charles Aladi say McAllister will be good for Liverpool because of the ability to read the game and press hard. I think I agree with you on that one. Does feel like a perfect replacement for Guinea Wijnaldum. Mr. Nnamdi, this is what I need you. I need you seriously. Henry Umoru say good morning, boss. I think Harry Maguire is just unfortunate. It's no fault of the guy, okay? But now he scored the own goal, so you cannot just absolve him of the blame. You still have to put him there. No matter how you look at it, you know. I don't understand. He said, Mr. Namdi is telling me that no access. How can you say no access? This is my YouTube channel, and you're supposed to be able to just. Okay, I'm coming. Right, I don't know if Mr. Nelson is there because somehow Mr. Namdi is struggling to get in. And also, Mr. Nelson, if you're there, you could please help us to get some of this. Mr. Sugar say, I beg, how many people injured yesterday for Man United? I think I'm going to pass on that question for now and focus on the investment question. Mr. Sugar, is that you not come online yesterday night? Yes, because you guys kept abandoning me and making it look like uh, like I should be doing the show alone. So I decided to cut it off. Like I told you guys before, if there is no people coming on, there's no need to waste my time. It's too much for internet and time, so I can't. Baba J say, bros, over the years you have been a very sincere person. So please don't let anyone give you a bad name because people will be willing to invest just because of you and your honesty over the years. So to be very honest is I've always said to people that the only thing that I have is my name. And when I say it, I mean it from a perspective of I've been, I've crossed so many lines, like in terms of step on so many toes in disagreeing with the norm, the status quo, and changing the narrative, disrupting the space. So if I put my name on something, if I vouch for something and I say, look, oh, this thing is going to work, it is because I know and I have vetted it, I've gone behind the scene, I've checked it up, and I know that, okay, this is going to work. So we might have maybe technical glitches and the rest of them, but if it is about the investment fund for the MPFL, I think I have done a lot of background check enough to be able to say, yeah, you know what, I can stand on this one and I can defend it with all I've got. Okay, so I quite appreciate what you're saying, Baba J, and it is true because people like us, once the name is spoiled, everybody say, I will tell you, and I say the guy in 419, just they jump around, they make noise. Yeah, I know the people who will swash will be rent event center and celebrate scandal on my name. I know that, right? And I know people who even sponsor that kind of party. I am musician, live band, comedian to host the show. But I also, that's why you don't see me, take up a lot of campaigns. A lot of people reach out to me to help campaign. Yesterday, first, I turned down a VPN campaign. I would have given me some very good money, about $3,000. But I turned it down because it's not what I want to do. Like, I don't want to put people in a place where I kind of like encourage people to commit crime, to go and one thing that looks good becomes something that looks very, very bad eventually. So I keep turning down these offers, not because I don't want to. Now many people have come to me, say, invest here, I will give you a house. I said, no, I can't put it on my show because it doesn't look clear. It looks like something that people will run away with money. But because this one is government regulated and it's not like money going into one private individual purse, it's something that I can stand for and speak for. I'm just waiting for Mr. Namdi and Mr. Nelson to join in on the show and probably be able to give answer. But if they are having issues joining in, well, there's nothing I can do. I've committed my time to do that today for them. Maybe probably the next time, you know how they say when something is free, people don't give it the best. Well, Akwas Baba says Europa League is Sevilla's heritage. How did Manchester United think they would just show up and dethrone them in a flash? Okay, I think Mr. Unamdi is here now. I can see him. So let's go back to the questions. Mr. Unamdi, if you're watching, let's start with the first question. The first major question that I have is from 69 Lima. So the way you answer it so that it is easy, you type at 69 Lima. Okay, so your answer is like you're responding to each person's question. 69 Lima. Lima is spelled L-E-E-M-A. 69 Lima. Okay, 69 was a very good year. For those who know, if you don't know, if you're above, I bet if you're underage, no sing that song. Okay, 69 Lima say, how do I invest? How do I invest? I read about the TNFF. Not much info in public space. So bottom line is he wants to know how he would invest. How does the investment work? It would be nice if you are able to give us answer to that one. Mr. Sugar say, I'd like to invest. And then Baba J said, how much do you think one can invest? All right. And then, went down just for the sake of rereading it. Baba J came down and gave me a very stern warning, put a caveat on me so that I would know what I am doing, which means he's looking out for my good interest. He said, Bros, over the years, you have been a very sincere person. So please don't let anyone give you a bad name because people will be willing to invest just because of you and your honesty over the years. So I trust the GTI group that they know what they're doing. And I've also vetted them behind the scene. I've gotten people to check on them and say, look, these people, they talk. So I hope not be MMN. Moko Modaro Mogbe. I hope it's not that one. I said no, it's government back, it's SEC regulated, they're a custodial bank, they are managing it in trust. It's just the same way like your bank, your bank account. You invest, they use the money to run the league, and because they're the one running the league, there's no more lao. There's no more PDP, share the money. It is now we want to buy this. Let's look for the most effective way of doing it without spending money lao and renting hotel and putting girls with baby girls like Sabelo girls. Okay, let's focus on getting it done. And then when sponsors come in, that investment now will not bring return. And it is in that return that profit is shared. It is out of that profit that is shared that you, an investor, get your own. It's just like normally buying shares in a company. You know how it works. Okay, so profit dividends is the right word. Dividends accrue and you get your dividends as you go. That's the way it works. So let me start with responding here. GTI Asset Management and Trust Limited, with UBA as custodian bank, are the promoters of the Nigerian Football Fund. This is a SEC registered mutual fund dedicated to the development of Nigerian football. So that's the introduction, my people. So we can take it further now to GTI Group. Please, if I want to invest, like the question has been asked, how do we invest? Because we're not just going to sit here, okay, yeah, this introduction is fine. It's not giving it credibility. It's giving it credibility, not giving it credibility. It's giving it credibility. But please, how do we invest? I need to know that so that the people who are trusting me and saying because of me they want to invest don't get into a place where they get into trouble. Okay. Digital Former, our starman on green says, can't wait to hear more details on this. Okay. Mr. Sugar said, in a Maguire case, it's looking like that of Fernando Torres for Chelsea. Even when you see him trying his best, one thing must happen wrong. I did tell you. And I feel for the guy, I used to banter him, but right now I feel for him. Mr. Sugar says, if I am investing, it's not because of whatever, but because Edafe is saying that it is good, nothing more. I feel honored right now. Like I feel like for the very first time, I feel like a superstar. I feel like I'm now the guy who is changing Nigerian football. I'm the game changer. Thank you very much, Mr. Sugar. I really do appreciate that. Let me go to Facebook and see if somebody's throwing up a question there because it is very, very important. Akere Kelly say, good morning, sir. Please, sir, can you help analyze the chances of Arsenal still winning the league this season? I'm just curious as an Arsenal fan, and I believe so much on your analysis. Thanks very much. So let me put it this way. The only thing, see, Arsenal is in that place now where we're pressing calculator like what Nigeria used to do when we were qualifying for a tournament. It's 50-50, but it's a 50-50 positive Man City, negative Arsenal. What do I mean by that? Arsenal, by not winning the game, not holding on and winning the game against Liverpool, and it was a very difficult game, but I thought it was 2-point loss, right? 1-point game. By not winning that game, what they've done is they've released the initiative to Man City. Unfortunately, what makes it terrible is the fact that they are still going to play Man City at Etihad. Now, Etihad is not a place where anybody just go and win. So if you can't win at Anfield, it's almost similar that you can't go to Etihad and win. But then Arsenal still have to play Chelsea, and we don't know what Chelsea they would meet at the time they meet Chelsea. They still have to play Newcastle. There are some very, very tough games that they are going to play. All of those games, if Arsenal wins it, if Arsenal win every game that they are going to play from now to the end of the season, or probably win every game except the Man City game and draw that game, they will be champions. That's all. If Man City win every game in front of them, they will be champions. So, but why do I say minus for Arsenal if Arsenal needs to draw one game and win the rest? The thing is, Arsenal, this team as Arsenal, I know that Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus have won the league title before. This team as a collective have not won a league title. So they don't really know how to run in the business and how to manage themselves. Another weakness that Arsenal have is Arsenal is not a team that can score a goal, then go back and back the boss, and then lock shot. Arsenal does not know how to play low block. So by that reason, if you look at the Liverpool game at 2-1, if Arsenal were very good at low block, they would have played the low block, frustrated Liverpool, and make it impossible for them to go in and score, because they would have said to themselves, since we're not going to score a game, it doesn't look like we're going to score. Let's make sure that this game is dirty, okay? But they couldn't do that. And that 2 point that they threw away is just a great undoing. So long and short is their destiny is still in their hand. They don't depend on any other person to get it done for them. Their destiny is in their hand, but there's no more elastic limit unless the advantage that they can have is because of the many games that Man City will be playing, the FA Cup, the Champions League. They just might get distracted, like what we saw from the Sevilla game with Manchester United. Injury have come in, the piling up. I'm not praying for Man City players to get injured because I really do hope that they win the Champions League this season. And what a better way to win it, because if they win the Champions League this season, they will say they conquered Bayern, they conquered Real Madrid, and then they went on the way to the team that came from Italy, okay, or probably Benfica if they can rattle their way through. But it does look like that route that you have 3 Italian teams and 1 Portuguese team, it's going to be any team that comes from Italy for them to win it. And in that light, if they go on to win it, and probably the rest players and they don't get it going, Arsenal might win it. But if you ask me, my smart money today is on Man City to win the league title. I'm an Arsenal fan, don't forget that. But my smart money is on Man City to win the title. That's what I got. Okay, let's go back. If GTI people have given us answer, we're still waiting for Mr. GTI Group. How do we invest? You've not answered that question. The time is on the show. You're delaying me, and I don't think it's good because you're making the show a little bit static and boring. We need to get quick answers for this. It's not really supposed to be that difficult. And then again, when you're not giving answers to questions like this, it gets people very, very skeptical, and they start wondering if this thing is real or not. Odino Ramila say Arsenal fans to win the league, beat the defending champions. That's it. Okay. Okay. Bros, if we want to go your side, we've already done on this show. We ask you, so please answers. give us answers. Don't refer us to your site. There's a reason why we're here. Let's get answers to it. If you tell us to go your site, not everybody here know your site, okay? So it will be good to hear from the horses, man. That's why we commit the show to you guys today. And avoiding answers is another way to raise suspicion with people. So please give us answers that we need. Eze Patrick said Maguire is just one unlucky player, same as Sandros. Okay, I just think he is not world class. It was never world class anyway. Like, it was thought of as Maguire is average. He should play for a club with less pressure. Eze Patrick went on to say Man City or Madrid is the best bet for Bellingham since Liverpool has pulled out. Okay, why did Liverpool even pull out anyway? I don't know. Their pull-out game is on top. Okay, okay. Mr. Sugar was the one that said, if I am investing, it is not because of whatever, but because Matthew Daffy said, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. I think we need to move to other things. Let me check what we've got on Facebook. I hope I've answered the question that the Arsenal fan was asking about whether they would win or they would lose. I don't know what that is anyway. GTI Group have come back. He said you need to fill a subscription form with your information. Subscription amount starts from 100K. Okay, so now you guys know how that works, right? If you've ever bought a share before, if you've ever bought a share in a business before, if you've ever invested. So I was talking to some friends in a group where one of my big Ebon puts me, and we're talking about business. And one guy showed up and said something that I just love. The guy said that Nigerians, as a people, we were not raised right. And when he first said, he just said it and then he paused. And everybody was saying that that's rude. You can't come into a public place and say it. And then he went on, he said that we were not raised right. We were not raised on how to do business, on how to invest, on how to grow. Apart from the normal Igbo people, you know, that teaches you trade, which is a very good thing, which is something that I think we should teach in school. The general Nigerian, as a people, we're not raised to like really create wealth, retain wealth, make money, take that money and create wealth, and then retain it, and then turn it into a generational wealth. We were actually not raised like that. Nigerians, every average Nigerian family is raised just to survive. Get money, eat food, if the money plenty, show off, and all that. So when the talk of investment comes, you see us floating in the air. We're confused. You know, I remember when that, you know, during the Obasanjo government, when Trasco was selling shares, and people keep asking, what do the shares? How do they buy shares? You know, many occasions I've been at Alibaba's office, and people come and say, bro, how do they even think they buy shares? Wherever they go buy the shares. You know, people don't understand what a broker does and all that. So let me just say this to you people. Anybody who's interested in investing in this, first of all, go get a broker. Yes, it is important to get a broker that you trust anyway. Get a broker. And what you first start doing is, one, make friend with the broker. Have a very good relationship with the broker. It helps a lot. Now, let me give you this one. Subscription is minimum of 100,000 units, and the current price is 1.02 naira per unit. So you can invest in multiple of 100,000 units. So right now, I don't think that there is anybody out there who does. If I want to sign a contract, it's a very simple business transaction that I understand. But all this contract that I have, they now keep it. I always try and get a lawyer, and I always dictate the pace, the terms. I always like, okay, this clause, I don't like it. Probably because I'm coming from football, all my life I've been signing contract. No, I don't like this clause. I think you need to change this one. No, I don't like the way you word this thing. This contract is good, everything is good, but the way you word this thing. Take for instance, there is a partnership that I'm into in production, and where, you know, the wordings on a particular contract in terms of the perpetuity clause, I didn't like it. Okay, because it does look like if I die, I mean the clause is perpetuity, but if I die, my children will have to jump through plenty hula hoops to be able to access my money, and I didn't want that to happen. So I said, just remove this word, just this word that you put in here, remove it, and let's see. So the tipper it, and we read it, and then it's not good. It's like they put a bump on the road for a high-speed low car like a Ferrari to pass through. I said, no. This thing, it's not going to affect me, but we just might become like one of the biggest brand in the world now. Then this thing, I will put come out for my children's life. I don't want it. Okay, so let me say, boss, we'll blame Mane for hitting on Sane after Sane called him black shit. Well, I wasn't in the dressing room. I don't know if it is true that it was called a black sheet, but I don't understand how Sane, who is from Sierra Leone, will call somebody from Senegal black sheet. That's one. I've been in dressing rooms. It is because of social media, this hyperventilating media era. I've been in dressing room. I have been punched in dressing room. I have punched somebody in dressing room. Yes, I'm not promoting violence here, but you see, the thing is, football, the way you people as fans know it, it's not how I know football. That's why I always say that most of the analysts that analyze football here in this country don't know anything about it. And people say I'm being rude. No, I'm not being rude. The truth is, you see that place called the dressing room. Leave all this all or nothing that you watch. All the parts you watch are the place they acted. They are scripted. The real thing that goes on in the dressing room is crazy. They don't use boots to tear people eye before. They don't hold person for war, hang them up like this, they punch them. So I've seen things in dressing room, but dressing room is supposed to be like Vegas. Okay, what happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. But this days, even before it happened, they don't pick up phone, they don't video you, they don't share them amongst everybody. Everybody's not having an opinion. So I really can't say if he called him a black sheep or not. But come on, go and read some of Lisa's book. Go and read this book. This book. Or go and read Andre Pello's book, I Think Therefore I Play. And you hear the things that are written in that book, how Gattuso will take effect and start people, and then the news that will come out is that he got an injury in training and all that. Times have changed anyway. So these things happen. I don't think that I would suspend Sadio Mane for that. I don't think so. And I'm not going to hear crucify him to the cross. Leroy Sané is a very, very, he's a troublemaker. He's a recalcitrant kid, right? He could do that. I don't take it passing, but two black people, I don't understand anyway. Mr. Sugar say Mane black, Sané black. They say Mane black and Sané black will not be the same. I agree, but there are two black people. I didn't know black people. Okay, so Lord Mayor says that, Olamatu say, whichever way Arsenal want to do it, make them sharp win the league this season, because if they don't, they might not smell the league for another 10 years. No, that's true. Esther Patrick says, someone said this same thing yesterday to me. We hustle just to get rich and elevate ourselves from the situation of the country. That is the main reason many of us are hustling. And that's the reason why, the cycle continues. The few people who are investing are the people who last long. You see, the thing is, when we start getting to 50, we start realizing that this thing we call hustle, we don't have the power anymore. We now go back. We no longer have the opportunity of choice jobs anymore. We now go from, I want to be a manager, I want to be a director. We gradually begin to fall down. The job begins to go down. You become a driver. You become a gate man. You see, you drive through every estate, see the people at the gate, and you ask yourself, this is supposed to be like my father. There was a man who was like my grandfather at our estate. I had to speak to the committee that we should let this man go. There's no need. And the man drinks alcohol like mad. Okay, but imagine when that guy was young. If he was investing something, let's say he was buying shares in Coca-Cola. Just put it that way. I've given Coca-Cola a great brand mention, but let's say he was investing in Coca-Cola. All right. And he was keeping that money there. The money there was there for over a period of time. When he gets to his 60s or 70s, he will sit back and the dividends will be his salary, because as a gate man here, he's not earning more than 50,000 naira. The dividends coming from Coca-Cola on a monthly basis would be more than 50,000 naira. So he wouldn't come and be opening gates and be shouting, my boss, to children that are supposed to be his grandchildren's age. Okay, that's just the point of investment. Whether you will invest in the TNFF or you will not invest in it, that's your call. But it is something to consider as a human being and start saying, you know what, the way the world is, invest in tech, invest in banking. They will not crumble overnight. Invest in beverage companies if I don't drink alcohol, but I'll gladly invest in syrup if the opportunity arises. I will gladly invest in Nigerian breweries because people will keep on drinking. People will keep on drinking. Food manufacturing company, pharmaceutical companies. I will gladly invest in them. Emson Paracetamol, for instance, if they come to me and say, "Oh, they are selling shares," and I have the money, I put my money there because every single day somebody's gonna have a headache. It is just what it is. I'm not praying for people to have anything, but it is just what it is. Nigerian football. Let me tell you guys one thing that you should know about this Nigerian football form. And I've looked at it. This is I small and it doesn't Nigerian football no good. I played in the league, I left, I came out, I own a club, I managed the club. The Nigerian football no good, Nigerian football no good. We've never gone 2 years without playing football. We will go court, come back. We go do this one, come back. They still they play football. And recently, I now realized that as bad as the system is, every weekend that I have gone to produce a game, I've traveled with 35 people. 35 people in the ecosystem have earned salaries minimum 50K. Some people have paid people salaries of 300K in a weekend. And that's money that some people will work for 6 months to earn, or 2 months, or 1 full month to earn. And my point here is there is money in the ecosystem. You're just outside of the bubble and you say, "Oh, man, Nigeria football that they play." No. Collectively, too, the bigger the money to spend, the bigger the opportunities that will be created. And that opportunities that are created, you're already inside of the bubble. And because you are inside of the bubble means that you would earn. You know how it is. Nobody walks inside a bakery and struggle for bread to eat. I don't know if you get my point. So if you're inside of the bubble, inside of the system, my friend will say, why struggle to sit on other people's table when you can create your table with your friends? So what you can definitely do is let us go into this and see what it goes. So this is how I look at investment. And it's Ali Baba that taught me this one. God bless the man. He said, listen, Essay, you don't want to put 1 million in an investment, right? But you will go to fast food, you will go to 5-star, 3-star hotels and go and eat. And in the course of a year, you may have invested 500,000 in mat to sheet, like food in, sheet come out. And then one day you have issues. Like recently when my son, needed to have a surgery, some small investment that I had somewhere, I had to break it and take the money because it's a life and death thing, right? And some other friends like pulled through for me. But my point here is, imagine if I didn't invest that money. I practically would be receiving condolences now from everybody, like, "Oh, sorry about your son," because that's what it was. Air wasn't going to his brain anymore. It was practically dying. It was melting. My son was melting. My son went from running around to not being able to move, not being able to talk. It was drooling. So I'm just giving you that as an example. The fact that I went through that and I didn't come on Facebook to beg for money was a product of small investment. So those kind of small investment are practically what will keep you guys going. Like I said to a friend the other day, I got fired in 2017. I've not actually done a job, work for anybody since that time until probably I started doing production for the league, and not every weekend, right? But I've not really gone out also to go and beg for food. There's always something to eat on the table. Children still goes to school. I still pay my rent. It means that I've invested something somewhere that's giving me some small returns. Not much anyway. So that's one of the reasons why you should invest. If you like, let it be on the TNFF. If it's for me, I'm all in, right? I'm looking for 1 to 5 million to throw into that and see how it goes. That money is big. Oh, yes, it's big. I like big investments, and that's who I am. But if you don't have the heart for it, you can do 100,000. I don't think 100,000 into this Nigeria will cause you a problem. But I want to ask a question, Mr. Nelson and Mr. Nnamdi. How do I get return on my investment? That's the key thing. It is not just enough to say, "Oh, subscription is minimum of 100,000. The shares are sold at 1 naira, 1 naira right now, 1.02 naira right now per unit." Yeah, if I put my money, can you walk me through the return on investment system? Like, how do I start getting dividends from this money? Because some people think in the MMN, some people brain work in the MMN fashion. I put 100,000 naira now. At the end of the month, I'm entitled to XYZ. Or some people are like me, the fair money way. You put the money now, it goes 365 days and come back way more than you put in. So let's say, for instance, if I put 1 million naira in fair money, I'm not doing free advert for them, but I'm just giving an example. I know that I'm going to get between 13 to 18%. Okay, it depends on what I negotiated and locked in. And investment is also profit is also based on volume. And so if I put it for 1 year, it's going to come back in 365 days as either 1.15 or 1.18 or 1.2 million. So it's 200,000. It might be small, but if I also kept that money in my bank, charges and deduction and everything, after 1 year, that money will no longer be 1 million. So I'd rather put it on investment. So Mr. Nelson and Mr. Nnamdi, can you people tell me what is the process to get returns on my investment? Okay. For those of you who are looking forward to invest, Mr. Timei Nelson says dividends will be paid annually as benefits to the investors. Can you break that down? Because it seemed like a very big, ambiguous English to me right now. So can you break it down when you say dividends will be paid? So let's say, hypothetically, I put 100,000 naira. What am I most likely return in terms of my dividends? Is it a flat rate or is it a fluctuating one that is not stable? And is there a possibility that the year might also end and I will not get a dividend? Like I say, we run at a loss, so we'll not get money. So let's look at the benefit now. We've talked about the investment. Let's look at the benefit, because that's the incentive that will drive me to invest. What are the benefits of this investment? Okay, so Mr. Nelson said investors can also benefit from the appreciation in the growth of the value. Okay, so that one, in case those of you who don't understand. So let's say you buy at 1 naira, right, which is the current sales price. And as it is going, so I can tell you for free that next season, first off, we're not going to have an abridged season next season. So the value of the league will be bigger. The league will be, expanded like full league. So 380 games will be played. Any sponsors that will come in now will price it on 380 games, not on the abridged format anymore of 9 games first round, 9 games second round. No, it's going to be different. Every club now will have 38 games to play, right? Another thing you now need to understand is the fact that anybody who buys into the league this season would, like a sponsor, would have the power to negotiate cheaper. But by the time we go to full season and we're starting, don't forget that we're starting in August. This is what we'll be praying in Nigeria, like, let's just make the league the same calendar with the European League. That was starting in August, right? Hopefully. And terminating in May next year. Let's say the sponsorship package will now have multiple title sponsors, broadcast partners, beverage partners and everything. And the shares now goes from that 1 naira that it is today to 5 naira, for instance. Your value have now gone to 5 naira. So 100,000 naira have now become 500,000 naira. Mr. Nasser, correct me if I'm wrong. I've now become 500,000 naira. So if, for instance, you now say, you know what, I'm not tired of this business, I want to sell my shares. You're no longer going to sell at 100 naira, at 100,000 naira. You're going to sell at 500,000 naira. That's the way I think it is. Mr. Nelson, I think I need you here. Jeremy Ehirim, he said, please, can I get your website? So please put your website there on the comment section for Jeremy Ehirim and every other person who's interested in it. Let me say Sani's dad played in 2002 World Cup with Senegal. Okay, sorry, it's Senegal, not even Sierra Leone. Sorry, I made a mistake. No, don't mind me. So Mr. Nelson said the dividends will pay depend on growth of revenue generated. All right, and then GTI Group came up and said it's a SEC-regulated mutual fund. Your investment is used to develop the game of football as a business. These investments, e.g., TV rights, only would yield returns for the fund and for you, the investors. Okay, so if there's anybody there who still have a doubt, let me sound like Barack Obama now. And anybody who still have a doubt, from the hills to the valleys and the underwaters and the plains, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. This is a money-making opportunity that I brought to you guys this morning. Don't I didn't call you because normally what people do is when it's time for money, people secretly go behind and go and do their things. I have given you guys the opportunity to benefit and earn good money in the long run, and also earn the pride of saying, when people start saying, "Oh, you are not contributing to the good of Nigeria. What have you done? Who you help? What do you put?" You can also say, "Listen, you see that league that is going on. You see those players that are paying salary. They are being paid because I put my money. My money is part of why the referee is not blowing that game and not blowing Pasha or not killing the game. My money is there." The same way, if you go back and listen to my interview with David Dean the other day, his greatest pride is not being the chairman of Arsenal, of helping Arsenal to win the treble. And David Dean just reached out to me that he wants to do a book tour in Nigeria and he wants me to coordinate it. Like, who the hell am I? Okay, but I would talk to Robin Height and a few other people and see if we can get it done, and probably also talk to GTI Group and see if they can help me fund it and bring David Dean to come to Nigeria, and put the caveat that David Dean will also give them some expo on how to talk to international corporate brands, because that's what he did with the Premier League. That's the man who set up the Premier League and got it to these 30 years of great success that they are in right now. And for those of you who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do want to subscribe. We've come to the end of the conversation today. Don't worry, I would GTI, I would definitely send you guys invoice. Spend 1 whole hour talking about your business and abandoning my business. It's not going to work like that. Mr. Nasser said, please note that revenues from sports properties grow significantly over time. True. Every league abroad is a good example. I've not seen any sports property that the value have depreciated. From buying Chelsea at £1 by Ken Bates to buying it less than $1 billion by Roman Abramovich to now buying it 4.7 billion. And from buying Manchester United at 800 million, it's now on sale for 6 billion. So it is something that we should also know. And you know, like I always say, talk is cheap. We always talk about, oh, Nigerian football is not good. The opportunity for us to make it good is here. Some people set up the MLS. I remember in '94, I was one of the people that was laughing them. I won't lie to you, because there was sin being, there was penalty that he played. You run from the center of the field. People like them, Alexi Lalas, Kobe Jones, Eric Wanaga, and those guys. These names that I'm calling, they are very strange to you. Tony Moella, Reynolds, and the rest of them. And it was funny. It was funny because somewhere in the late 90s, I was in the US. And I went to go watch football. You know, one of my rituals of traveling is I always go to a stadium. And I was just mocking them because I was coming from football heaven. Now we play football. Now we know football. So what they were playing looked stupid. But look at the value of the MLS today. If to say I get sense that time, I gather small money, put $100,000 as investment in the MLS. By now, now me and Donald Trump go the gist to no, not be for prison side, but for business, and I will go the gist. You understand? But foolishness don't make us see like that. So GTI, before we go, please drop your website. Let these people see the website, and then if there is a number that they can contact you guys on, I think you have less than 2 minutes to drop that number. Communication is very, very key. People want to know if they can reach somebody. When it comes to money, you always want to know if you can reach somebody. But then again, I think that Nigerians are taking trust to another level. When Nigerians start putting their money in OP, Pampi, Wishada, Kuda, there's no customer. They don't get office, so Nigerians were putting money and we're very excited about it. And I think I love that about Nigeria. So I think we've taken trust to a whole new level. On this point, this is where we would drop the curtain on the show. I'm still waiting for the website to be put up there, and then there's a contact number. Sure, if the website is there, that's enough, because the website also have contact numbers and everything where you can get all the information you need. Well, for those since they are delaying, let's start with this so that you can reach them as fast as possible. This is contact. This is a website that you can also reach. I'm putting it there now. That's a website. If you're on Facebook, that's the website. Yeah. Okay. That's a website. And if you are on Instagram, the website is www.tnff.gti.com.ng. Okay, let me just type it. www.tnff.gti.com.ng. Yeah, I've done my beat this morning. Yes, these people. And I never said anything. Today in our sports business, so in our sports business, leave results, leave all those ones. We'll talk about it another time. Well, look out for all of the videos on our platform. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us to grow the interview with Darren Lewis of the Daily Mirror, Sky Sports, CNN. That guy is a man of. And then they just say that you do the hustle. That man there everywhere. He did everywhere. Eh? And it's okay. But if I mean, I say that for you everywhere. Why? But everywhere I need to put yourself, everywhere I need to see you. Well, guys, do what to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow up on this opportunity because tomorrow, when it passes by, you will say you were part of it, and let's see how it goes. Building Nigeria is everybody. It's a collective responsibility. It's not a one-man thing. It's all our progress. It's what we're looking for, and we have to work for that progress. God bless you and have a wonderful day. My name is Idafe Matthew. So you love to come in the on the spot. Bye-bye. Yeah. Good. I seriously love this. That's it.